And some of the kids that have had serious situations in their life, both asking me, when are we going to circle again? And they're the ones that didn't want to talk at all when we first got in here.
I think that every student at Mesquite ISD deserves the opportunity to experience restorative practices.
I think it's just a chance to connect with your kids. It gives your students a voice, which I think so many of our kids don't feel like they have a voice. And somebody said it earlier in the circle.
Your students that speak a lot in class, you get to know them. They want you to know them.
And then there's other kids that just kind of fall to the back. And as a teacher, you try to reach all of them. But if you have a class of 30, 35, some of our teachers have, you can't get to every kid.
We spend all day teaching our kids about math, science, English, but at no point outside of Circle really do we teach them how to be humans, like humanity, how to talk to one another, how to connect to one another, how to listen to one another.
And I have one student who doesn't talk much, but now since he's talked in Circle in class, he said that he liked art. So now in class, all my students will ask him, hey, can I see your art book? What have you drawn today? To where before, he would not say anything and no one would talk to him.
You know, my teacher hat, my principal hat is off. And now I'm just going to bring in the human element. I also mentioned in the circle in regards to the pain that I see in students' eyes. That's something that a teacher may not see. They've got a classroom full of 30 some odd students. If the relationships are not there and the groundwork is not there, then there could be an offense occur. And so that really makes me think, am I simply a disciplinarian as a principal? No.
Mr. Brazel, in my class, when we go back to class, they're always talking about him, how they love when he comes to Circle. To where at the beginning of the year, they were nervous. They were like, oh no, I'm not in dress code. I forgot the wrong shoes, and we're freaking out. And now they're like, oh, is Mr. Brazel coming? I hope he's in there, and get really excited.
It can't continue to be so much of a violation of rules. It has to be a violation of a relationship. We have to gear our mindsets that direction.
So many times we want to go to ISS or we want to go to ISIP and we want to fix the situation. And I think sometimes just giving them a platform and a voice to express themselves fixes the situation.
This was our first teacher circle, and for me, it was so good to see how other teachers see Circle. I have used it to really build relationships with my students and let them see me, and also between themselves.
To me, Circle is a classroom comes in and community family leaves.
I think it was just interesting to hear various teachers talk about their experiences and realize that we've all kind of had the same experience. And I think that kind of speaks to what Circle is about.
So they've been trying all year to get me to do Circle, and I was like, oh, we talk a lot, I build relationships.
So it's like I'm going to be planning next year's stuff with Circle in mind for every class. So there's going to be Circle time. Every class is going to understand what Circle is. They're going to experience it.
I didn't start at the beginning of the year doing it, honestly, because I didn't think I needed it, because I have good relationships with my kids. I don't have classroom management problems.
And so to me, that tells me that what we're doing makes a huge difference in some kids who wouldn't normally say things.
But then they say things like, you've been a really good role model. You've taught me how to be myself. You've taught me how to not care what other people think. I had one of them say that I'm kind of like their school father.
But then there was a student that was shot, that was a Horn student, and then Parkland happened, and I had kids coming to me sad and asking questions, and I wasn't able to answer, and I realized I needed a place to help my kids with what they were dealing with outside of my classroom.
They make each other cry and they hug afterwards, and they become closer.
And once that they see that from you, they see that you're human, that you've made mistakes, that you've been in their shoes, they are 100% more likely to listen to you.
You don't really realize the impact that you have on students sometimes until they have that platform to say it. And for me, it was just kind of like that moment that was justification, I would say. This is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'm going to close with this. Why Circle? Because our kids need a voice. We talk about change all the time. How are we going to create and make better young men and young women for the future? Folks, to me, this is the answer. Giving our students the voice, speaking positivity into their life, connecting teachers and students, students and students, students and principals. I think every school in the district deserves the opportunity to Circle, to hear their kids' voice. Thank you all so much for carrying the torch. I couldn't be more proud. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you.